take a little bit of time here and just read and list off a couple of accolades, and I need to have my paper here with me. The men have recently won conference titles in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Women have won conference championships 2012, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. But the reason we're here today is to acknowledge this year's team. Yes, tradition, yes, history is very important, but it is this team in this season while we're here. And sometimes when you have unprecedented success or a dynasty, you sometimes forget a little bit of how special these moments are. And so just to pause and say thanks and congratulations to this team is what we want to do. One of the strengths of the cross-country program, and Coach Wolf, this comes from you, is the ability to live in the moment, to take each experience for what it is and to make it as most impactful as possible and to really cherish it. And this group does that very, very well. And Coach Wolf will give you, again, a lot of credit for this. Each July I have the opportunity to meet with every head coach, and every head coach lays out their program for the next 11 months and what they want it to be for their student athletes. And Coach Wolf never talks about championships. He always talks about running the very best race during the GPAC championships. That is his goal. It's not to claim another title, another trophy. It's to run the very best race we're capable at the GPAC championships. And I think it's really this process-oriented approach that they have that allows them to be excellent day in and day out. And if you take a look at our cross-country team, we're excellent in everything that we do. From our walk with the Lord to how well we perform in the classroom to the leadership that we display across campus and running in meets on Saturdays, we do a really good job. But we don't focus on just the meets that are out there. 1st of November, cross-country championships at GPAC, and the national meet that's held about the 3rd weekend every November, but rather it is about being great each day. And this group really embodies the Defender way as well as any team that we have here at Dordt. And for that, we as a Dordt community are thankful and grateful for that. Coach, if you'd share with us a little bit about what's going on here the next several days with your program and the fun that you're going to have, we'd like to hear about that.
Yeah, I mean, I told Coach there's not a lot of fun that happens on a cross-country trip, but before I do that, I want to thank everybody who's here. You know, to have people like Bill who brings his team for practice and spends time outside of that, to see the other coaches that are here, the other athletes, people around campus, we really appreciate that. I think one of the things that makes, I tell this to the parents every year when they come at the start of the year, what makes Dordt special and what makes Defender Nation special is the type of support that a cross-country team gets. I mean, it's just cross-country, and we really appreciate it. And so, thank you for being here. But yeah, for us, the next few days, we leave tomorrow. We will have lunch, and then we will leave at 12:30. Go to Omaha. We'll get into Tampa to our hotel about midnight Eastern time. I had an old coach that used to say, late nights aren't hard on the athletes, they're just hard on you. That's true. But we might have a couple ladies that'll be tired by the time we get to the hotel. The next day we get up, we will run, then we'll drive up to Tallahassee, run again, because that's what you do in your cross-country runners. You might eat somewhere in there too. And then we have some tests that we have to take and things of that nature. The next day we can go see the course, and so we're excited about that. The course that we run on is Florida State's course. It's hosted the national championship for Division I last year. It hosted all 3 national junior college championships this year, as well as the state, the Florida State high school meet. So it's a great course. I don't know what the webcast will be like. It won't be the Dordt Media Network that'll be doing that. But it'll be webcast, and hopefully you'll be able to see some of the runners run at that point. So On Friday morning, it's an early morning. The guys will race at 8:30 Eastern Time. That's 7:30 your time. So when you wake up and get to class, maybe you'll know how they did. The ladies race an hour later as well. So we've been really anxious about the weather, but it looks like 40 degrees when we race on, for the guys at least, when we race on Friday. The ladies, I think by the time you're done, it's supposed to be about 47. So no, we're excited about the weather. It'll make for a fair race for everybody, and so we're looking forward to that. Both teams have a chance to do well. Coach asked me what my goals are for the team, and for me personally, I think each coach is this way. I know the national tournament, talking to Bill last year when they were playing in the Final Four in the national championship game, our goals as coaches are typically, we really want to see our best athletes be able to perform on that day, or athletes as they get to the end of the season be able to perform their best. And so for us, we are hopeful that we can make it to Friday without getting sick, without getting injured, and lining up and just seeing what our best does, how we stack up with our best performance. And so we're excited about representing our teammates. We get to travel. We get to race 7 on each side. We get to travel 8. We have 60 total that are on the team, and the 16 that are there get an opportunity to represent those 60. And so we're excited for that, and hopefully get to represent York University well. So yeah, that's kind of what we got on mind.
Thanks for that. And you learned something a little bit earlier, and it is great to see so many different folks here from different offices across campus supporting cross country here. And it's also really encouraging to see so many other coaches here as well. And I know one of the things that you've made a priority is to invest in other people. We've talked about that. And Brian Gressy, are you here? I thought I saw you here earlier. Coach Gressy was named GPAC Soccer Coach of the Year this year. But what's really cool about that is there was a time when men's soccer wasn't doing so well, and Coach Gressy and Coach Wolf began meeting on a regular basis just to talk about philosophies and to talk about streamlining structures and stuff like that, and to see how those ideas are passed around throughout our department is really neat and really encouraging. And to see that expertise that a veteran coach has, he's willing to share with the younger coach, and to see that pay off in Ryan and the other coaches that Nate works with, it's pretty cool. It's what really makes York unique and special that way. President Eric and Dr. Barb are on the road. They're on the West Coast here this week, and they send their regards as well. They're doing some fundraising for the capital campaign that we're currently in, and that's going very well. They, of course, are very staunch supporters of Defender Athletics and the cross-country team. VP of Marketing and Enrollment, Brandon Huseman, has agreed to say a few things about this send-off. Brandon.
Most speaking opportunities I get are because I'm the third choice, so keep that in mind. But first of all, on behalf of 21,000 alumni from York University, congratulations. We're really proud of you guys. We're really eager to see how you compete. Chris Godfredson is a friend of mine who's a pastor at Centerpoint Church here in Sioux Center. And he takes the cultural mandate and says, takes a little bit of tweaking from the original. He says, as you go along the way, make disciples. As I think about cross country and think about running and all the time that you have sharpening one another as you run together, you're sharpening each other as disciples. So as you go this week, think about making disciples. Our team in admissions today was talking about back in 2019 when Joe was a senior in high school and the story that happened at the state meet, right? And we all watched as this unfolded, and as the final bell rang, or we thought the final bell, and then there was one more lap. And you had a line afterwards, and you said, God's plan is bigger than mine. You tweeted it out, and it went viral. As I think about this group, I think about the weather that's coming, and I think about everything that Ross shared, everything that Coach shared, we think about the 4 tenets of the Defender Way. The Great Commission, we talked about that. Equipping student athletes to be servant leaders, embodied in a quote like that. academic development of all student athletes. Last year you guys had a 3.38 on the men's side and a 3.74 on the women's side. That's incredible. And the fourth thing there is the pursuit of championships. You both just won a conference championship, and now we're looking at the national championship meet. And so I hope that you run a faithful race. I hope that you run the humility that you're known for already, that you carry that ethos with you. But I hope that you run with an expectation of how it is that you're going to spur one another on, how it is that you're going to make disciples of the other groups, but how it is that you're going to be a witness for the Lord. And just know that we're all here cheering you on as well. So I'll pray for you, and then we'll go on from this place. Let's pray.